It is going to happen. So what does that leave humans with?
God, you're ugly as fuck.
Josh, you excited for the trip, lad?
Very excited, mate.
What are you looking forward to the most?
Swimming?
Fuck off.
What about you, mate? You excited?
Excited about seeing the lads, mate. You know
The
what I
lads,
mean?
yeah,
Gotta get the guys.
Gotta get it in. Me personally, that's what takes some pretty followers, man.
She put me out in the winter, feet frozen. She wanna fall with me cause I'm famous, and that's okay with me cause you been my favorite.
Motherfucker, shut up, honestly. Recording in public for the first time, that's new. Initially I had a plan to kind of create a video where I put some dramatic music on and interlinked a little voiceover of me, maybe talking about how, you know, you gotta focus on the journey rather than the destination. Though that could have been a nice idea, rather than doing that, I'm just gonna keep it raw and be a bit more down to earth. You know, I'm not gonna force to make a correlation between the hike and between things that's going on in my life.
That real shit, bro.
Yeah.
Real spring water.
This goes out to all my perfectionists out there, because I'm sure there's a few of you watching. I am also, would classify myself as a perfectionist, someone who perhaps overthinks at times. This little message goes out to you. A lot of the times, people like us, the perfectionists, the overthinkers, we spend so much time thinking and planning, but we often delay actually taking that first step. There was like a pottery class, right? And in the pottery class, there was two groups of students. One group was asked to create a piece of pottery every day for the month. The other group was asked to create one piece of pottery for the month. Now, what you'd think from that is that the class that produced a piece of pottery every day would create a lot, but maybe not the highest quality. There would be quantity over quality, and you'd think that the one that had the 30 days to just produce one piece would create the nicest piece. But what they actually found is that the class that made a piece every day not only created just more quantity in general, they also created more quality. And that's something that I've needed to hear. And I think maybe if you're watching this, you need to hear that too. It's that not everything's going to be perfect, and you have to start off somewhere, and you have to sort of just be willing and not be afraid of messing up. And what you're going to do by taking action every day and committing to something day to day, regardless of whether you think it's good enough to put out there, if you commit to it and you just take that chance, you're going to learn, and eventually you will produce quality. Consistency beats perfection.
A little air in the room, she do a little bit. 12:30, I was all alone, I can't be compromised. Fucking on my ex, we ain't a.
I do want to just quickly go into why I chose to niche down on entrepreneurialism. It comes underneath self-improvement, right? And I've covered a lot of self-improvement areas, from social to health to my body, to my mind, women, spirituality. With all of them, they've obviously still got room for improvement because they'll never be perfect. But I'm at a point where I'm comfortable with them, whereas my finances, my money, a little bit doo-doo right now, a little bit. So by creating a channel that documents that journey, I kind of have a necessity to do the work and then come back to you guys with the findings from that, right? It's holding me accountable, right? And I'm seeing people put comments. By the way, I just want to say thank you for all the comments. They've been super supportive so far. But I'm seeing people putting comments about, we watching your progress, dog, we going to track your progression. It's adding a little bit of pressure, and it's also making me accountable to not just myself, but also to you guys, to try and bring some value to you guys who are looking to start this entrepreneurial journey, and you've trusted me to give you some insight and some perspective into that, which is great. But I will say this, although I feel like, you know, my actual hardcore business ventures that I've already semi-established, although I feel like I've maybe not been putting in work into those as much, I have been putting a relatively decent amount of work into this YouTube thing. And you might think, well, it's YouTube, it's not business, but, and this is my belief, again, I'm no expert, but from my observations, from my analysis, one of the key business skills in this modern era is personal brand. I'm going to put a little clip in of Tai Lopez discussing it.
7 money-making skills you have to have. I call it the emperor, the king, queen, the 2 princes, and the 2 princesses. So the emperor skill is personal brand. Anytime they call you by one fucking word, you're a personal brand. Oprah, Tate's a personal brand now. Trump. The Forbes list now has the biggest, wealthiest man of official wealth is Elon Musk. It wasn't until Elon Musk bought into the social media game. I mean, he was wealthy, but in a loud ass world, you better fucking control the platform. And so he bought X, Twitter. This motherfucker's smart like a fox. He drops $40 billion to buy Twitter. He only puts in a couple bill himself, $5 billion, borrows 35. And now he's the loudest microphone on earth. If you look at his tweets, the impressions, his X, whatever the fuck you call them, the X's, you know, like, he'll have 5 million. He posts 8 times a day. He's hitting 400 million people. That's a continent.
Wow.
He reaches a continent.
The reason I believe in it is one, from a marketing perspective, right? One thing I've 100% learned in these last 3 years is business and just the world in general revolves around people and the connection between people. And that's important, especially in marketing, because if you have a personal brand and you're able to portray your authentic self, or at least some sort of version of yourself that people can buy into and believe in, then it's going to be way easier to sell to those people. Or, you know, I don't even want to use the word sell. It's going to be way easier to provide value to those people as opposed to a brand, because it's more personal and it's more real. Second reason why I think it's even more relevant now is because of the intervention of AI, right? I'm a big believer in AI. I use it a lot. I use ChatGPT all the time, and I will invest in the recent update of ChatGPT 4.0. When I do, I'll create a video on its effectiveness and I'll share that with you guys. But where I'm going with this is AI is very powerful, and it's only getting more powerful, and there'll be a point where all jobs, everything, and that's even including things like art and music. If you haven't seen the Drake album that was created by AI, go check that out. You'll see the capabilities of AI even in a realm like music, which you'd think is untouched by AI. Even in a book I was reading, it was by Yuval Harari, and I can't remember if it was his first book, Sapiens, or if it was his second one, Homo Deus, but in that he just gives an example of an experiment where audiences listen to a actual human music composer and a AI music composer, and the audience, after listening, like a blind taste test sort of thing, they thought that AI was the human being. So point is, AI is gonna fucking take over everything, right? And it's gonna leave humans with very little to actually offer. Now, we can talk about that on a dystopian level if you guys would be interested in my views on that from a philosophical perspective and whatnot, whether that's right or wrong, whatever. That's kind of the fluff on it though, and I think really and truly it is what it is, and if we're being realistic, it is going to happen. So what does that leave humans with? Not very much, I will say that, but it leaves you with yourself and your personal brand. So I think if you are an entrepreneur, you're considering going into it, do your own research, for sure, do your own research. But I think developing a personal brand is going to be a key skill that's going to age well as we progress through this AI sort of age that we're heading into. Final push. I can't breathe, man. Let's do it. Oh, fucking hell, mate. It is windy. The belly all onto my arm, mate. What a a fucking day, boys. What a fucking day. Any words? Good effort, mate. Good effort. I missed you. Yeah, Josh fist me. Good effort, bro. Good effort.
Right.